I think I've got it going in the WAP right here. Let's see. Go. Oh, that's not good. I closed the chat. There it is. All right, guys, we got a couple minutes before we get started here. So I'm gonna go grab a drink. I've already been talking a lot. And I need something to drink. I'll be right back. All right, I am here. Oh, I see we already got some chats going. Your SHIB trade closed at 250%. Holy shit. 250% gain. You guys are gonna have to teach me or tell me how to get into this leveraged crypto trading stuff over the weekends. Like I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to anything. Like I can trade the stock market and futures and everything else, and I can trade a chart, but like I don't know anything about this crypto stuff. So you guys got to school me on that because I want to get in on that. This dude just made 250% on a sheep trade. I three what 215%. Leverage doesn't scare me. I'm not scared of leverage, not at all. I'll get in the leverage trades. When I used to trade forex, I was trading 1 to 500 leverage. It don't scare me at all. So yeah, I need to know like what brokers, what accounts, like how do I do this? All that stuff. And I'll go ham. I'll go crazy on it. YOLO. Trust the FLB, right? Yeah. One thing I don't think I can do is the meme coins though. I've went and looked, I've watched that stuff. So many people get wrecked on the meme coins. I've seen it. Like this, they're just classic pump and dumps. I could start my own meme coin though. I don't know, man. Make a quick 100K. Anyways, all right, guys. What do we got going on in this chat so far here? Matt, are you there? All right, well, let's get started. So first of all, we're just going to go over the first light beacon. Um, this really can be, so this whole thing can be used as a Q&A so that you guys can ask questions and get answers. And you can also, we can use this stream right now as for people that have never even seen this to look at it and figure out what's really going on. First of all, we finally received our patent pending status on the indicator, the algo. This was just something I was playing with earlier, trying to help out a member and figuring out like Renko brick sizes for what was it, XRP? Yeah, this right here. I think we got it narrowed down to 0.0025. So you could use this strategy for trading XRP right here. So we're breaking out. This is just a scalping strategy that's on our in our Discord, and you can watch the video on how to actually use it. But basically your entry would be right here, and then here's the push. And this is live right now. XRP, it's moving. But we're using Renko candles. Okay, so we got to ban someone on YouTube. This is a multi-platform stream for an affiliate, and we got people just like going already. So back to what I was saying is the stream is here to answer any questions or go over anything like that, and I can't hear you on oh, I have my Maddie, go ahead and try and talk now. Sorry. My oh, it's my Elgato thing. There we go. Are you talking, Maddie? Turn on my headset here. Boom. One second. All right, so we've got some trolls on YouTube right now, um, that are pretty much just like probably can't satisfy their wives. Um, so they're gonna come onto YouTube and troll what I've got going on, and they're telling me that I need to humble myself about talking about the patent pending application or status of the first light beacon because I had a red week. So I need to humble myself and not talk about how the last couple years of my life has spent into building something. And I'm excited that I got a um a patent for it. So yeah, now I know, like, I'm starting to get into that trench of what all these other really big YouTube whatever gurus, whatever they are, um get into when they have bad weeks. Yes, I can hear you. Okay, good. Oh, yeah. Um yeah, I'm starting to get the trolls milk. So um they're like, oh, you had a bad shot, basically humble yourself. Don't talk about your program or your um got wrecked in a crazy week of trading Nasdaq. I don't know. I don't understand the logic behind that. I should just stop trading forever for the rest of my life, right? I don't know. So whatever. So the platform we're doing today, guys, is not getting into that kind of drama. Sorry for even bringing it up. Um, is to just answer questions on Maddie's platform and go over the first light beacon, the indicator, how to use it, um, and what it is. So I can either start just by talking and going on about what it does and the ways that I use it, or we can just start with a Q&A and kind of roll off from there from what the audience is actually wanting to know and see. So James is asking about orbs. When setting the orb, okay. Okay, so orbs, if you don't know, an orb is an opening range. So we'll just go into a 15-minute candle here. Even on Bitcoin, we can use this. We'll just turn all this off here. And you can pick it from, are you talking about the actual orb indicator, James? Or are you talking about what an orb is? Let me ask that first before I go. Are you talking about the flex orb? Longboard, yeah, we do. Okay, there you go, James. James, you got speaking privileges, man. You got a question. I think that he's talking about the flex orb. So let me go ahead and install it real quick. Yep, can hear you. So the so just to understand your question, first of all, so the Rankos you can move if you're using Ranko charts. Yeah, sure, you can move up the time frame. Um, it's ill advised to go past 1 second. The reason why is if you're using the indicators, you want the update. Let me go to this one here. So you want the indicators to update on every close of every candle. If you set this to 1 minute, right? Um, they're not going to update until this candle closes. Does that make sense? Okay. So I would go to I like it on the 5 minute. This is personal preference, but I would go to just a regular candle, right? Wait for the open, which would be if you're trading US session, which would be 9:30. So let's go find that. XRP. This is Friday. Yeah, if you're going for daily open, that's going to be the 6 p.m. candle. Um, so we, so well, it's so for your time, it would be 3 a.m. Eastern Standard. Is so let's go to that and I'll show you real quick. But even on Saturday, since this is moving on the weekend, it's a little outside of my realm, but I'm going to go ahead and just say that this is still going to give you an opening range because that's when more volume is going to push into the market is when you guys actually start trading. I don't know about on the weekend, but what you would do is go for London would be 3 a.m. high and low, right? So here's my 3 a.m. Here's my low, and then 3:15. What's our high at 3:15? Well, right here. Yep, yep. So that's your opening range. But now you can use 30 minutes. So you can go, what's the first 30-minute opening range? What's the first hour? Um, you can base this off of pretty much any period and starting time. I like to use the 6 a.m. to 6:30, and then I like to use the 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. and then I use the 9:30 to 9:45, and then I use pre-market high and low to kind of establish like what's going on for the day. So, for example, and then I use the indicator to get into it. So, for example, I didn't take any trades yesterday per se, but I was paying attention to what was going on. And if you look at the 6 a.m. to 6:30 right here, we're getting our, well, here's the easiest way to do it. I just use LuxOrb or Orb, Lux Algos, Orb indicator, and then I just punch in whatever values I want, right? So I just go to this right here, remind this 4 for me, and then I go 6, and this is going to work for about anything. And then we're going to use the, I don't want that. Well, yeah, I do. I don't want this. I don't want this. And then I'm going to go to 9:30 and 9:45. It's already there for me. Close that. Close this right here. And then I'm going to go to pre-market. So what pre-market is for me is 1800 to 9:30, right? And so if you look, just for looking for key levels to start actually getting into any trades, um, we this is 9:30 right here. So right at 9:30, we can tell that we've already broke up over the 6:38. What is that? 6 to 6:30 orb, and we break over and we're actually retesting it at 9:30. So if we can turn on our tools, right, and we can go into Let's see here, 45 minutes. So there's 30. And then here is 45 minutes. Well, Linda. Okay, so we've got some serious trolls on YouTube that I just need to continue blocking. The First Light Beacon is not a VWAP RSI EMA mix. It's actually a reformulation of the time priced opportunity. You clearly don't need to be part of anything we have going on. But yeah, so we can get into that, and then we go and we move into our our zones here, and we're finding zones that overlap and agree with what we think price is doing, right? So that is one strategy that you can use with this, is just taking the opening range breaks, not taking them, but using them as a confluence. So for example, this, let me close this big one right here for now so we can see. We get our opening range from 6 to 6:30 right here, and this gets rejected right on a 15-minute end cap right here. See that? So I'm going to turn off all the orbs since we already know what's going on there. And right down to the 6:30, it gets rejected right here. And then if you could take that entry, right? But we're looking at momentum pushing up, and we're coming back down, and it's rejecting the midline of that zone, right? Of the 15-minute, or this is the 30-minute, sorry, is rejecting. If you're using Rankos, yes, but that's I'm not using Ranko candles right now at this point. If you're using Rankos, a Ranko candle, okay, so think about what a candle is. A candle is the open, close, low, and high, right? And when it pushes, it's building up these candles, and it's based on time. So this right here is a 5-minute candle. So every 5 minutes, we're going to get a new candle. If we switch over to Ranko, the Ranko candle is based on price. So it's not going to print a new candle unless it actually moves that many dollars, right? That you select and you put in there. So each one of these blocks right here, and this is that same area that we were just looking at. Each one of these blocks is worth $10 of movement. So it's not going to print a new candle until it moves $10. So what Rankos do for you is smooth out price and get you away from most of the chop, right? And you can continuously changing it. So now this is a $10 candle. Now we're going into a $50 candle. So price is only going to print, or it's only going to print another candle if price moves $50. And you can measure it, and you can see that right here. We move up. There's 200 ticks, which is $50, right? Well, no, the time frame does not matter, but if you go past 1 second, your indicators are not going to work properly, and you're going to get too smooth of data. It's not gonna look the same. So if we go to like an hour, see how these candles, this is not going to print until an hour's worth of data on the close when it moves up. So even though price has moved, you're not going to get a candle until an hour later, is basically how I understand it. If you go to 1 second, it's going to actually print the candle every time there's a close, and it's going to allow the indicators to update every time there's a close, right? So that's what's going on with the right. 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 Yep. So correct. Um, the another way to look at this is I always have a Rankel chart open on another monitor. you can use this to stay in the trades longer, because think about what this is looking like right here on the Renko, right? It's just a straight push. It's smooth. Well, there's no reason to close it. You're above your beacon line. You're above your zone. It's pushing. It's pushing. It's the same color. There's no reason to close the trade, right? Now, if we switch over to candles and find that, look at the price action, right? This is well, I mean, that's very smooth, but um you could have any one of these dips or anything like that. I mean, there are too many candles if you're scalping, but any one of these dips, it could have, the psychological effect of price going up and down is hard on you. Now you switch over to Francos. This is clear as day. Like, I don't need to close, period. Now, if you get this first candle here that swaps colors and it closes under the beacon line, then yeah, maybe that's a close. You know what I'm saying? So if you're 100%, yep. Um, this right here, are you talking about these up here? These right here? That is the 30-minute candle turned into the support and resistance zone. So I can't on a Renko show you. Well, we can if we go to Bitcoin. So let's see, because Bitcoin's moving. You just can't replay Renko candles in TradingView. It's one of their limitations. This, yeah, right, yep, right, right, yeah. And also being above or below this zone matters on what direction you should be going in. So if you're below it, obviously, I mean, it's simple. We want to be looking for shorts. If we're above it, we want to be looking for longs. And that's where it comes into play. So a lot of people have trouble with this and they don't understand it, is adding in multiple zones, right? So we're looking at, we're adding in the weekly zone right here. So this is a weekly candle. It'd be hard to see on a 15-second chart, but oh, I have this set up for that scalping thing that I was showing you. There we go. So we need to turn these on. So there's your weekly candle turned into a support and resistance zone, right? So this starts right here at 6 p.m. on Sunday when the new weekly candle starts to form, right? And if you look, we're underneath it, we're underneath it, we're underneath it. If I was trying to trade and hold for a week, I wouldn't be taking this this initial entry, right? I'd be waiting for something like this to happen, a crossover, and then come down and retest. And that's exactly what it did. This was if you were looking to buy Bitcoin this week and just, hold it midweek and get some, some leverage cash out of it, this was the perfect opportunity to do it. It crossed through, came down and retested that wick right there. And then, or the wick retested the zone. And we're getting into the trade like this, right? And we're looking for whatever we're looking for as far as profit, but that's a pretty good hold. If you took it at the top, this right here, that's just a, it's a, well, this, not sure, to be honest. This is, just over here on the left right here, and then your projection tab, and you can select, and so then all your drawing tools. And then if you put, you check this little right here, it'll actually show up on a favorites toolbar for you. You can use, yep, yep. But so using the multiple zones again can get you into what is my trend for the week. what is my trend for the month type stuff, right? So let's change this over to yellow so we can see it. And now we're looking, go ahead. Yes. So this is the daily candle turned into a support and resistance for the day. And it'll start printing a new one every single day. So, and then this is the weekly, right? So I can get an idea of what price is doing. And this is when I'm swinging Bitcoin, this is typically what I'm doing. I'm waiting. Let's turn off the waiting for this to happen. I'm waiting for it like this, right? And that's telling me that we're going bullish. And if you're going to swing it, that would be an optimal entry is somewhere around in here, and then we're holding our stop down here, right? And then we're looking for the swing. And yeah, it's under this one right here. Yep, 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 yep. Well, thank you. The so the trade mode, you have two. You have intraday and scalping. Intraday allows you to use the name session zones. So it allows you to use daily candle, the New York session, the London session, Asia session, US pre-market session, the 350 algo, which is a specific trade that you just scalp. The theory is at 3:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, an algo either pumps or dumps, and we try to get into that trade. And whether it's true or not, I don't know. But it seems to be self-fulfilling because a lot of people use it. So there's a lot of volume coming into the market right at that time. And it's actually a decent trade. There's quite a few members that use it and do take that trade and are doing quite well with it. Um, that I know of. So let's turn off one of them so we can just see. So there we go. Now it's just showing you and you want to get into a smaller time frame because this is literally just a scalp, especially on the futures market where everybody's doing it. It'll start this box or formation of the zone at well, I need to I picked closed the wrong one. So there we go. So now let's find 350. Right. Well, when you're back testing, yes, but when you're actually doing this live, you're doing it at 3:50 p.m. Of it at 3:50, and the strategy is to wait for the cross because the market moves in waves, right? So we're waiting for a wave to happen, and here it is right here. So price pushes up over the zone, comes under, gives you this nice momentum candle here, and then what you would do is look for the short off that candle, and then we're holding the zone, right? And we're going for whatever amount of ticks or pips or whatever your trading measures to get your scalp in there, right? And I'm usually looking for 80 to 100 ticks when I futures market, and it's a well, if you're scalping, well, it's different. It's different because like this would be well here let's let's swap over the BTC. Well, we wouldn't be trading that. We'd be trading micro Bitcoin, but I can still give you the example. So here it is right here on micro Bitcoin futures, right? So here's the crossover and cross up. This would be if you were going for that dump, this would be what, 53, 83 ticks to the bottom if you were lucky. So let's just go, if we went one contract, Find the entry here. There's the close under. So we would short that, and then we're going for what was it? Like 80 ticks normally what I'm going for. Let's see if it does. I don't know if it does or not. Pretty far dump. That's 0.37%. So on a futures contract, it's going to be close to 2,000. It does make it. There you go. There's your $1,800 trade with one contract. When you're going into actually trading the way, if you're using crypto levers on the how you're doing it, I don't know what the percentage is going to be. But that was well. So you're risking one. So actually buying the asset, you're placing in a contract that holds a value. So there was the entry, and your stop loss is going right above the zone. So my risk was $175. Yep. Right. Yep. Correct. Correct. Yep. The actual dollar amount on when you go to the crypto or whatever, and how it's measured, I don't know because I've never actually traded that stuff. So I don't know it. If I'm trading Forex and I'm trading BTC versus USD that you can trade on Forex, if I go 2% on that right there, and say I put $1,000 in, on the trade, I'm risking 1,000, and I just went to 1,800 and I was risking 175. So that's like a 15 or 16x trade. So 15 or 16%, is what it would end up being. So around there. And that's, in 2 or 3 minutes. And it's just giving you pinpoint entries. And if that's just that one singular trade, it's just the 350 algo trade. That's the theory. A lot of people trade that one little trade, and look for it. And it's really kind of like an end of day drift. Sure. I don't know how to do that. Yeah, so that's just the well, you know what? Let's do that real quick. Let's just go over all the settings like you were asking. And then I'm gonna see your screen. Oh, wait, I think I can. Oh, there it goes. Yep. Yep. So if you're using, that is a 15-minute chart, right? So let me I'm on XRP now. All right, so I'm sharing. Yep. So if that's how you want to use it, there's nothing wrong with that. So let's set it up. Now, what you want to do is go into your dailies or your weeklies, your higher zones, right? And find correlations with the signals. You don't just want to take these signals blindly. You might if you get like you're on a 15-minute chart here, you take this signal, you might want to wait on the retracement and then go with it, right? But they are really good. They use um the places. So they work really well. But if you're gonna like if you're taking this short right here, especially on your risk, right? So and this is a that's my daily candle. Right. Hmm. For example, yeah, they do. So you just got to be smart about which ones are used. Would I take this one right here? Absolutely. Why? It's above the daily zone. Right. So would I take this one right here? Absolutely. Why? Because it's in an end cap. Watch this right here. So the end caps, you have to understand what these are. These are this is the daily candle right here, turning into support and resistance, which if you're holding crypto, this is probably the zones you're going to want to use. Like you're going to want to use the bigger zones. You want to see the bigger time frame. If you're holding scalping, it's the same stuff. You're just going into smaller time frames, right? So here is an end cap from the weekly candle from the previous week. You're inside of it and it's not coming down below. You've got a low that was created. It's like respecting this area right here. And then all of a sudden a buy signal pops up after it leaves it. So absolutely buy that. That's a big momentum candle breaking away from a bunch of unfulfilled orders. That's an absolute get into it. And then your risk is right here, right? I don't know how much 10 is on XRP. I don't here. It doesn't look like a lot. Let's add this, make the numbers look better, right? So there you go. So here's a $222 risk, right? And then what are we going to target? Well, you can go for risk to reward. You can go for 2 to 1s, 3 to 1s, 4 to 1s. You can target the high, right? You can trail it. So let's say instead of just targeting this next zone, right? Once it gets to the zone, we start trailing, right? So instead of targeting that, we actually target this extreme high, hoping, hey, maybe it's actually reversing here, right? And we can actually start to trail price as it's pushing up through zones. Okay, so that's good. I'm not seeing it dump below the daily zone here that's forming, right? This is actually forming as the day is going on. So I'm happy about that. And I'm just letting price go. And then we end up breaking through that end cap, which used all those orders as fuel to push price instead of reverse it. Okay. And I had it. Sure. So this mhm. um So the Coinbase Advanced, yeah, I know you can with Coinbase Advanced. Um, and no, okay, well then with NinjaTrader, Kraken I think just bought NinjaTrader, so I know that you're going to be able to with um with NinjaTrader or Tradeovate soon. And if they do that, Tradeovate is one of the brokers that are connected to TradingView, and you'll be able to do it just like this on the screen. If not, you have to go through. Right, right. So even I know people that trade on that buy and sell Bitcoin on Cash App. I don't know why. I don't know if the fees are better or whatever, but they literally look at the chart right here and they're looking at all this and they go, okay, and then they pull out their phone and they click buy. Right. And then when they're moving their stop loss, they just look at price and go, okay, I need to move my stop loss to this price right here. Right. So what is this price? This price is 2.2191. So they go on their phone and they just move their stop to their price right here. Right. Especially if you're holding long term, that's going to be really simple to do. If you're scalping fast. Yeah. Right. Well, you can also set alerts on these zones, right? So I can come over here and go, well, I'm in replay, so I have to get out of replay to do that. So if I want to know when an end cap has been touched, I come over here and I select top touched, right? And if you're on a higher time frame like this, these zones don't form that often. So when they do get touched, you're going to get a ding, and that's something that you would want to pay attention to, right? And come look and see if you want to move your stop up or you want to close the trade or whatever it is that you think you need to do. That's going to give you a heads up on what's going on, especially on a 15-minute time frame on a daily zone like this. You're going to have time to come and react, right? And then like even this right here, this is a decent entry. So this is a buy signal inside of an end cap. It's there you go. Those are trades that those are things that I would take and hold for sure. Especially this right here. Here you get well, that's the one we took, I think. And then this rejection, you get a rejection of an end cap, and then you get a buy signal. That's a decent entry too. You go into some drawdown. It's not as great, but it's a decent entry. Most entries you are going to go into drawdown. So, but yeah, and that's the one way that you can use it, especially with crypto. If you're holding crypto, and you can go even to longer time frames. You can get into monthly candles, right? And you can see what the monthly support and resistance is. So that's it right here. There's your monthly. So you were when did this start? This was May 1st. We were bearish until we came close to this end cap. We pushed, we rejected, came back up, and then we actually finally broke over and retested, and then it was gone. If you have patience and I'm assuming most swing traders that are trading crypto do, this is the ultimate entry on the confirmation of a reversal. Something like this happening right here. Because without it, this is what you're looking at. Like this. No, you're good. Sure. Let's see. Right here, this would be not an ideal area. Well, it would be for a scalp, but it does reverse. Right. So this sell signal does end up reversing, but that's just going to be part of it. Sometimes you're going to win, sometimes you're going to lose. Correct. Yep. I wouldn't take this one. It's above this zone. If we're above, we buy. If we're below, we sell. That's it. Yep. Um, this one is a monthly. You go intraday and then named monthly. These will not take effect. It's named sessions. Go to monthly and then turn on a 15-minute or higher candle. Because these are being powered by ATR and volume. So that's why it's a confluence, right? That we're using these zones as a confluence. We don't want to be taking that right there. ATR and volume shifted right here, and that's why I printed. Yeah. So you'd be shorting right now. I'd be shorting right now. Yep. I mean, it's all under the context. If you're scalping, then yes. If you're swing trading or intraday trading, no. Oh, then yeah, because I'm gonna look at that as an inversion. I'm gonna look at that as it's reverting to like a linear regression trade. So if it's pushing back up into its mean or median, um, I'm gonna take the scalp, right? Um, but that's off. But if I'm swing trading, I wouldn't even, if I'm scalping, I wouldn't even be using that monthly zone, to be honest with you. It's too big of a zone. I'm going into daily or New York or the pre-market one is only been added to the indicator for about 3 weeks, and I'm starting to like that pre-market for scalping more than anything. Yeah, so then that's going to put it on to a 15-minute zone there, so that would be ideal for scalping as well. um and yeah, so now that you're seeing it differently without the monthly, that buy doesn't look so bad, right? And if you were to zoom in there and actually hit replay, there's more than likely a rejection of an end cap or a zone sitting there. Plus, it's a 15-minute bull flag. So it doesn't look right. So it's the close of the candle. The close of the candle that meets the conditions is where it'll print it. Yep. Right. When you're trading with these like this, especially on these time frames, I would not be holding until it says sell. I would be going for a fixed RR. So I'd be going for like a 2 to 1, a 1.5, something like that. Um, on those signals. Yep. Well, if you're looking at his chart the way it is right now, if you look at that one buy signal at the bottom, if you were to hold that until price closed under the beacon line or started crossing under it, that would be your ultimate close. So there you go. So if I would actually get into a smaller time frame and look for price to actually dip underneath it, and yeah, maybe 5 minutes, and then look for price to break under the average, and then you're looking at a close instead of just closing um prematurely. You can ride it out just a little bit longer, but obviously it's not going to work all the time, but when they do work, you're going to get a much longer run than your typical scalp. Yep. It does. So I have a couple members right now that they scalp off the beacon line, and that's what they like. So they use the FLB and the beacon as a confluence, and when price crashes through both at the same time, like that candle right there, right on the middle of the screen. Um, yeah, so that's so go to your settings, go to settings and go to style at the top. Office. Not gonna do you any good. Printing the styles and settings right here to get all the lines out of the way so you can actually see. Now, and you can change the go to settings again, right? Yep. And then go back to inputs. Now go to scroll down some and go to fill zone color or zone fill color. And it's up, it's higher up. It's at the top, kind of right right there. Yep. You're in, see where the color boxes are? Go to zone fill. Right there. Click that, change that to like yellow or something. Just a different color. And then or even yeah, so now you're actually seeing um the beacon line. Well, you're on a 5-minute chart on a 15-minute time frame. Go to a 1-minute time frame. A 1-minute candle. There you go. Now zoom that out and make it bigger and look at the how obvious stuff starts to be. Right? Like we want to zoom in on the candle and see what the candle's doing on the zones, right? But we want to be able to zoom in some more. Yeah. Yep. Yep. And then make that, just scroll that up on the right or get your stuff on the left. Here, let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me show you. Let's see. There's mine. All right, so I'm going to go to a 1-minute time frame on a 15-minute chart. Or on a 15-minute zone, right? All right. So when you're trading like this, you want to be able to see, you want to be zoomed in like this. Like what is price doing off of these zones? You want to be able to, now when I said that there's members that trade the beacon line, this is what they do. Beacon line changes right here. So let's and then look at that momentum push. Beacon lines turn green and we're blowing up over the zone, right? So they'll enter a buy there. And then their stop loss is the zone right here. Right. And then they're looking for 2 to 1 or whatever. Maybe they're oh god, I just screwed up. Okay, so there we go. So stop loss there. DP up here somewhere, 2 to 1. Why does he keep doing it? Okay, doesn't. There we go. Whatever. It just wouldn't let me put a stop loss out. Okay. And then they're scalping up. They're scalping up like that. And that's what I was talking about, is that beacon line, the color get a big momentum candle that actually crosses through this zone right here. Right? That's telling you there's a momentum shift. And you can take that even without the buy and sell signals. If you're watching price and it does something like that, that's a good entry, right? This one doesn't quite to work out because it does it immediately after this beacon line changed. This one happens after it's already up and curling. See that? See the difference? Let me turn on hollow candles. You can actually see the lines. There we go. So this one is actually blowing up through while the beacon line's actually pushing. Now, the difference between this one right here is it's happening all at the same time. And in my experience, you want to see it be curling up, right? Curling up, and then finally the buyers are coming in. You can also use volume to detect you know, to dictate if this is a real move or not. We'll turn on some volume real quick. It isn't curling and isn't following up it right like that. So that's the difference. Now that's how you can get into those trades as well without using anything but the you know, the beacon line and crossing through. And then you can also use no, my someone rang the doorbell and the dog going crazy. Give me 1 second here. It's Amazon. They have this insatiable need to ring the doorbell when they drop packages off. All right. So yeah, so pushing up through the zone, that's significant. So that's crossing through all the orders that were sitting in here, right? And when the beacon's following suit, when we're scalping the way I'm scalping, I'm getting in and I'm getting out. I don't know your definition of scalp. I don't know if you're trying, but when I scalp, that's not the case. Like I get into this is a bull flag, it breaks out, I get into this trade here and it pushes and pushes and I close like right here. Right, so there's I don't know how many ticks that would be. I go to Bitcoin. So if I'm doing that, so like, 60, 80 ticks, there you go. So we're looking, most scalpers in the futures market are looking for 10, 20, 30 points, which is 10, 20, $30 a movement. And they're getting out. Crypto, I don't know what you would consider a scalp. Like how much leverage are you putting on the entries? Right. Right. Well, your stop loss, I can tell you, is going to be the same. Is when you have the beacon line doing this and you blow it through a zone, your stop loss goes right there on the zone. That's your risk, right? So, and then you're looking for, there's a move right there that's pretty good. That's a 3.6, and you're out. And why did I choose that? Well, I went to this high of this candle right here, right? Nothing special. There's the candle right there, and try to get to that right after that. You enter that trader there. If you start getting price to start coming down through this right here, that's the time to close. That's the time to say, okay, this is not working out, right? So if this candle was actually to flip around and start coming through the zone, that's not good. We don't want to see any candles closing below this midline, right? Where the midline's left on. If you're in a long like this and you're buying and the candle starts to flip around and come through this midline, that's a close. You need to get out of the trade. You're about to get chopped out, or it's about to reverse on you. So using the zones, and this works on all of them. So whatever time frame you choose to use, when you see price doing that, that's a bad thing. You don't want to have it. You don't want to be in that long anymore when that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just colors. People can change. Hold on 1 second. Say that. Would I take what now? Right. Mm-hmm. It's more than likely going to if it keeps pushing, because the signals are based on ATR and volume. So, yeah. Well, look at the end cap there. Yeah, long. Yep. Well, it needs to respect that zone that you're on right now. So the best way to determine if price is going to respect it is that beacon line. Is the beacon line coming down into it? And the ultimate A plus entry is to for that beacon line to come down into the zone and come back out of it. Right. And okay, well, there's your answer. More than likely. What is this? Yeah. See how it wicked that zone? So I would wait for that candle to close. If it stayed the way it was, I would buy and I would up right there and I would try to target the one above it or start trailing it when it gets to it. That's what I would do. Um, because that's a picture perfect reversal. Because if you look, what is a reversal? So I'm sharing my screen again. There we go. Oh, I hit cancel. What is a reversal? So how do you find a reversal? So if we go to so we get price coming down, coming down, coming down, and we break those, comes back, creates support off of this. Oh, I don't think they can see it. There it goes. Here, let me try it again. So uh, yep, nice. Oh, so you're trading live while we're doing this? Awesome. Oh yeah. So if this is coming down, like price is doing this thing coming down, and then you get this low, right? So first of all, you got to have a low, take a low, and then it momentum pushes up like this. Okay. What you're looking for, this money on this move right here, and that's what you just did. But I wouldn't be trying to hold that because more than likely it's going to come back down, find support right here. Right. But this is your classic reversal right here, right? This is your classic reversal. Price is coming down, pushes up. He's already 10% up on XRP. Go ahead. Um, I got to. Right. So what are you on XRP right now? Okay, so you just took this push here. Oh, there it is. So here is, yeah, so that's that. It price comes down, right? Pushes up, pushes up. So here it is coming down, coming down, coming down, coming down, pushes up, creates support, and goes. This pushes up, creates support, and goes. So the indicator is showing you that, right? Because we've already got our push up, clear to high. James has got a whole party going on. And then we break out and push. Now, if this respects this end cap right here, I would close that. If it doesn't and it keeps if it shoves up through it, my stop would go right here at 2.1319, right under that end cap. If it would put my stop right there. But yeah, here comes the reach. Yep. Yeah, that if you can't see them, they're right. And that's, so if you go into the settings, it's right here, show in cap, turn them off, turn them on. And these are not support and resistance zones. That's what a lot of people think they are. They're not. These are actually unfulfilled orders, is what they are. And that's why price. So this is blowing through. You've caught a pretty decent trade. Yeah. So my stop, I would definitely, if I'm scalping, my stop would be moved right now to that lower level. Yep. Yeah, because it was completely mitigated. Sure. Hmm. Right here. This one right here. Yeah, that's, there wasn't enough of a move to cause it to do that. This is a good sign. Right. Well, this is a good sign when something like that happens. Because it's signifying it's just a pullback, especially when you're doing it inside of this end cap, right? Yeah, there's a bunch of orders sitting right here. There's a bunch of people buying the bottom. Um, they're looking at this as a reversal, so it's pushing up. A bunch of people are buying this right here, right? And then it goes. Now, can it be just an inversion trade? Sure. Could it be a full-on reversal? Sure. I don't know. That's why we trail those zones, right? That's why we're locking in profit, and we're trailing those zones. And it's the same exact thing on a higher time frame. If you're using a weekly zone, a daily zone, a monthly zone, it's all exactly the same. It's just a higher time frame. And when you get the new zones and price goes through it, you lock it in. You move your stop and you trail, right? Because we're not living on hopes and dreams here. This is I would be closed. Or it's a pullback, but I would already be stopped because my stop would have moved up to the bottom of that end cap. Because we're not. Right. Well, if you'd have just put your stop right, so where the old end cap was, which was right here, so we get price to blow through it, right? And then price goes through. Oops, hold on, I went too far. When it mitigated the end cap completely, which was this candle right here, I would have put my stop right there like that, and then either it goes or it don't. So I would have been stopped right here. Right. It could. Yeah, it could. It could be a full on reversal. So here's the Ranko version of what you're doing right now. So this is what it would look like using that chart that you were setting up, James. This is the Ranko 0.25 setting on the box size. And this is the breakup, the reversal, the rejection, and the push. right? So, and this is this is what it looks like in Rinka. And if we actually go into a bigger box right here, each one of these boxes is now worth roughly $5 or 5 cents, whatever this is measured at. $2, probably 5 cents. Um, yeah, no, five. So yeah, 5 thousandths of a cent. But you could be trailing this zone right here, right? You could be trailing this now that he didn't get stopped out here and he's pushing. This is looks like it's bull flagging. It's probably a full-on reversal because look at this. Look at this. Let's go into like a 5 minute here and see if we can't get any. So that could be what he's doing right there. This created all that support. Yeah, because look, this has already done a reversal and it's consolidated, and now it's come back down to it already and rejected. Maddie, you there? Oh, he disappeared. Uh, Maddie just got into a maybe a swing trade live on the WAP because this is going. Look at that. Good for you, Maddie. Yeah. And see now you can see the zone is moving. It is starting to step up and it's stepping up. See that matters. That's telling you that we're pushing. We're pushing. See all these steps? Like literally steps you're walking up to go up into an upstairs or something. Literally step, 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 step. If it starts getting flatlined, that's when you start to go, oh, okay. Maybe there's something wrong. You know what I mean? I'm trying to find an example of that. This looks really easy to trade, honestly. I might need to start doing this. Right. Yep. Yeah, it looks like it's going to do that. It could hit 214 and come back down and rebounce off this and go back up. Who knows? I don't know, right? That's why we trail, but I would definitely put your stop under this end cap that just formed right here, so you don't end up losing money. Yes. And then every time one prints, just keep moving it up underneath it, and you'll end up trailing the whole move if it goes. Uh 212, 212, 212, 70 is safe. I'm gonna actually I think I'm gonna change the coding on this and actually put in the price in the box. Maybe that'll help determine that stuff faster for people that are doing it outside of the chart. Because like you can have price show here, like it'll highlight it, right? Right here, it'll highlight this line's price right here and right here. Um, Well, it's probably going to hit that because it's more than likely going to retrace into this zone here. That's some high fees. Well, you, my friend, may have caught a breakout here, man. Lucky, lucky you. Right. I wonder if it breaks. That'd be awesome. What percentage are you at now, Maddie? Heck yeah. There's your retest coming. So yeah, let's go over that real quick. I'm gonna take over the screen, Maddie, and show them um all these settings real quick so that they understand what's going on. So I'm just gonna go through the settings real quick. So trade mode, intraday allows you to control the name sessions, the monthly, daily, New York session, London, Asia, pre-market, all that stuff. Scalping mode allows you to control the time-based sessions. So these are the actual candle times, right? These are the alerts for scalping zones, end cap alerts, and intervals on and off. When you set your alert, say you want to know when an end cap is touched, you need to literally change this to the time that you want. So like the 45-minute zone or whatever, and then go in and actually add the alert up here, right? And then it'll know that you want it on the 15 or well, Maddie just caught a breakout. Looks like it. Yeah, you're pushing. And then these are just intervals that'll turn on, and I don't really nobody uses buy and sell because there's other strategies where we use actual midline crosses. So you can use those for that. These are just coloring changes that you can change the colors or whatever you want. This turns the end caps on and off, right? Which are these, and then coloring on and off. Option two is a proprietary thing. that we got that are actually color the candles based on trend. See? So if we're pushing down, they stay red, right? And that'll help you stay in the trades longer as well, because the candle color hasn't changed, right? Now, when it starts to flip up, it'll start to push up and actually change colors, and you'll see that. Is it perfect? No. If you get into higher time frame holds, it will help you determine if we should be keeping those holds. Like possible, you might have just the 15 minute looks really bullish too, because it just rejected this zone down here. So here's the 15-minute candle. Look at the rejection here, and then we drop down into the 1 minute, and that's where he got into his entry right here. Boom, off of this zone. So multi time frame analysis, something we teach in our boot camp too. And then, and then 1 second, let me think about that. Um, the I think you can, yeah. Oh yeah, you can keep adding them. But there's more candle options here. So this one right here is an RSI candle. So it'll flip based on RSI. This one right here is contraction expansion. It'll change colors based on that. Most people use option 2, or they just leave it off. And then these are squeeze zones right here. And when you turn the squeeze zone on, basically it's showing you where you don't want to enter. Like, you don't want to get into a trade while price is inside of this, because then you're in consolidation, right? Look at this. See this? We're consolidating. God, XR, this thing is really moving all the time though. Um, but yeah, so it's okay. So you said a 15-minute zone with the what now? Oh yeah, yeah. So um, when I'm day trading, I use the 15, 30, and 45. But here is so scalping, and then we'll go to we already have the 15. We'll go to like a 2 hour or a 4 hour. And there's the 4 hour zone right there. Let's turn these off so we can see everything. So there's the 15-minute and the 4 hour combined. And here's the end caps. Now, if you don't want the zones, I don't know why you wouldn't. Some people, I mean, you may or may not, but this is probably pushing to this right here. More than likely. Up to 2.1581. This is a 240-minute, so 4 hour end cap right here. And that just rejected this 4 hour end cap right here. See that? You're going to that end cap up there, the 4 hour end cap on my screen. See that? Yes, I would put my take profit right there, honestly. Right there. 2.157, around there somewhere. But it rejected this 4 hour end cap, and it's pushing to here. So you can trade end cap to end cap. If you're trading longer term, you just go longer term candles, right? Well, you just crossed over the 4 hour moving zone. Yep. Well, if it stays above this 2 hour or this 4 hour dynamic zone here, it's launching. It ain't going nowhere but up. So I would definitely be moving. I would definitely start trailing this zone right here, this 4 hour zone. to But I had on my damn chat was on ATR's average true range, James. Sorry. I couldn't see all these chats. It's going to this end cap. I'm telling you right now, it's going to 2.1581. Yeah, it's gonna go. No, no, no. Look at my screen. Look at my screen. Look at my screen. Right here. Right here. This big yellow box. Yes, I know what it is. So it rejected this 4-hour end cap here, and it goes end cap to end cap. So it's more than likely going to come up to 2.1582. Yeah, yeah. Fuck it. But if you turn that 4-hour zone on, you'll see what I'm talking about, and you can trail this. But uh, but so do we have any more specific questions? Because I'm gonna have to get off soon. Daughter just got. Let me see what Glenn did. Like Callaway, I got 3 in caps, 15. Well, Glenn, when you so option 1 is RSI, right? Um, Glenn, when you start seeing the crossovers from the midlines, I'm going to show you all guys this real quick while I'm talking about it. Um, I don't even use uh candles when I do this, and most people don't believe me, so you is go to see. Okay, so here is change my screen. Oh, I screwed up. Here we go. Here you go, Glenn. This is a this was this is a video on YouTube where you see we're just using the midline crosses right here. And there's the entry. Did you win? So this is the so this is just using midline crosses, Glenn, right? And I'm gonna show you real quick how I did that. Right, so here we go. So I'm gonna take off that. We're gonna go into scalping. I'm gonna go into like a 30-second. I don't want to see those. I just want to see the midline. I don't want to see end caps. There we go. Then this one I'm going to go into say like a 5-minute. How does that work? So this is how the bot works that we're still working on, but this is how it works right here. So this 1 second, or this white line is the is a 15-second candle, right? And this blue line is a 5-minute candle. Now you can do any setting you want. It's actually 30 seconds. Yeah, that's probably smart. You can always re-enter if it keeps going up. Lock your money in. So how this works is when you get this cross like this, boom, that's a buy, right? And when it crosses back down, that's your close. And this is a uh, um yeah, we actually have it automated. So it's actually strategies, and with Ninja Trader, um where it takes these uh these crosses right here. You can, so if you go into um higher time frames, so we'll like do a 45 minutes. So your open, let's see where the open would be, right here, and then your close would be here, right? So, well, I'll just show you. um and then your close for this one, so your open is right here. So we're selling, right? And we're holding, we're holding. Okay, it's getting close. We're holding, crosses over, so we close, right? And then we go, okay, is it gonna do it again? Okay, I did it again. So we sell, we're holding, we're holding. And that would be a close. So you would close. There you go. This is how we're programming the automation to work, but we're using, multiple trending confluences and stuff like that. But as far as the executions, that's how it works. Uh, not yet. No. No, not yet. The okay, we'll do. Um, but yeah. So that's that's how it works. And we actually take these trades manually sometimes. Haven't done it in a while, but right at 9:30, right at the open, to try to catch that big momentum push. So if you catch something like this right at the open, right? So like this trade right here would be amazing if this was the open. You just, I don't know what the position sizing is for this stuff. So I think it's the same as Forex. So we'll just buy 100,000 units, which would be one lot, right? And then you would hold this trade uh, until it closes, or until it crosses over. So we got to be getting close. So let's just see. Boom. So you close. So you would. So that one worked out perfectly. Like that's picture perfect. Um, but that keeps you in the trade for the until the very moment it starts to turn around, right? Well, let's look at it right now for him. Yeah, see, he's coming down right now. This is live. This is live right here. Yeah, the short. Okay, good. Um, well, if you're using this strategy, you would be in the short. So So if you look, so here's a good example. So when it crosses up, so this is a 30-second candle average, and this is a 5 minute or 45-minute candle average, right? Basically, is what it is. A little more complicated than that, but it's, I don't know, the only way I know how to explain it. And then we get the crossovers, right? These aren't moving averages. These are literally midlines of the zones. And then we buy, right? And then we hold it until it crosses back. And if you do this at key levels, you're going to catch some really good trades. Now we just hold this until it closes back. No, there's no, I had the candles turned off. Here's the candles. I don't use the candles when I do this. Yes, there you go. Oh, then as you close. Well, just keep watching the screen. Don't take your eyes off the screen. Watch this. Watch. You can they can scream bullshit all they want because I've done this live stream and I have live stream recordings of it. So here's this. Watch this. They're gonna go to YouTube. Then all right, here's one. I gotta change my it doesn't let you change it. You have to close it every time. There you go. So here's me doing it right here. That was not sped up. That was that fast. That's just how fast futures trades. But there's a ton of these. You can like all these. Just there's shorts. Yeah. Edge pulse. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you also can get alerts. You can also get alerts. So how you do that is you go into and then I'll do the edge pulse for Glenn real quick. So we go into the alert section, right? And you can't see it. Yeah. Yeah, I can. So this is how you can get alerts. So this is how you get alerts for these crossovers. So we come over here, click add alert. We'll change this to crossing, right? So this list right here is always the same list you have up here in order, right? So when you condition FLB, Lux Algo, Edge Pulse, in the same order always. So we're going to go the first FLB, right? Crossing our midline right here, right? Is crossing the second FLB midline, right? And then once per bar close. And if I click create, every time these cross, I'm going to get a ding, right? And this cell is still going. You wouldn't close this. See this? You wouldn't close this at all. That right now. So this, um, but the, yeah, so this may be this might not be the reversal. That's what I'm saying. This could have just been an inversion, a quick inversion, and then it dumps back down again. So that's why we're using those zones, right? And we're going, okay, well, I need to trade, I need to um look at the 45-minute zone. Look at the dump back through it and crashing back down. Are you still in this short? Are you in the short? Yes. It rejected a 15. Oh yeah, there it is. So there it is. See? Yeah. So you rejected the 15 and it dumped. Now look at where you are right now. You need to pay attention to this. See that? Now the edge pulse, let's talk about that real quick. Glenn wants to know about that. I'll go into 5 minute because it's less dots. So showing momentum, right? This is showing momentum. And this probably is going to keep going down. Just because we're but if we don't break over this midline on the edge pulse, this is definitely going to keep going down. But here's our momentum. We're pushing down, and then our momentum starts to push up, and we get a flip right here. The dots are measuring the wave of. So if you're getting green dots below line, you're looking at a bullish push back up, right? But you don't. This is just showing. See how this pushed up right here? This is showing their a retracement kind of thing, but you don't take these things unless they're at the key levels. So, for example, this actually came in and tapped into the end cap, and then you get a green dot, right? That's a decent entry. This one almost touched it, but this was a retracement off of that. So, you might want to use it. But when you get price action doing this right here, coming into the zone and you get a green dot and then it flips green, that's giving you confirmation. It's giving you some good confirmation and to go with the trade. But not yeah, so you go back to the 2 minute. Man, is this just a pullback retracement? This just got everybody. Oof, this might actually keep pushing up, man. But that's how you use those dots, Glenn. Is see what now? I have something that does that. I can't remember what it's called. think it's the BNB that does it. It actually, when the crosses happen, it actually prints a label. I think it is the BNB, but it's meant to be a meant to be a for orb breaks. So here we go. To get the crossing lines, yeah. So this does it right here. I'll just have to reprogram to not use the orbs because it's actually using orbs from US time zone. But yeah, I could do that. The yeah, that's what I'm doing now. I'm doing and then you use a higher time frame. Right here, there you go. See, as a confluence of trend, but what? So there's that. Probably want to use the daily actually. That's I'm putting in a trend confluence for you. But we don't. You don't want this. You don't want to know what the trend is. Well, what I'm saying is you don't. I'm just saying you don't want to take a buy right here on this one, right? Because we're coming down. So that's what I'm saying. Like a trend, some kind of trend confluence. That like. All right, all right. Right, but let me at least explain this real quick before you do all that. All right, so if you're below this zone, you're bearish. If you're above it, you're bullish. This is a 4-hour candle, and you can, and it's Oh shit. What the fuck? Well, at least use the end caps to figure out direction, okay? I mean, there you go. Like, see this one, it like, all right, well, I'll call this um all right, well, you can turn them off if you want to. Here's the thing. Here's the link right here. Yeah, I just don't know if I have the audio coming in from this thing. YouTube doesn't care. It's TikTok that cares. If I call, I'm not on TikTok right now. If I call myself, I've been banned for like 3 days, 7 days, 2 weeks on TikTok so many times for calling myself a retard. Yeah, I'd be like, I would get into a trade and I'd be like, oh, that was retarded. And then all of a sudden the screen's shut down, the stream's done. You can't, 3 weeks, you can get back on. And I'm like, wow. All right. There's your zone crosses. You're welcome, Glenn. Now we just need to get 500,000 more views using it. But yeah, see, like, look at this right here. So if you were to short this, right, you never cross back up. So this retracement would have been nothing to you, right? Yeah. Now, if it does cross, yeah, okay, cool. Now, do you lose some of the profits you made down here? Yes. But if you follow the rule set, when you catch these, holy shit, right? This is a big ass trade. But this is how I swing. This is how I like to swing Bitcoin. What do? Well, my midline right here, I changed to a daily candle. And they changed this one to a weekly candle. And now I get the crosses from the daily and the weekly. So explain. Let me show you this so that your mind can be blown even more. Are you ready? So this is the daily. This is the daily candle crossing the weekly candle. Right? Here we go. So it's crossed up right here, and I'm going to buy. There you go. Oh, did it cross down? Nope. They just met. Let's see if it crosses down. Yeah, we want to see it cross. So it's not crossing, they're running together, which is a good thing. Oh. Yep. So you're not it didn't, oh, there's your close. 25,000. I don't fucking know, man. I put on one lot. Oh, yeah. 15. Not the right one. This was one lot. This was one lot position. Which one do I use then? Well, it crosses right here. This is the close of the cross. It says 16.17 on Unleveraged. That's without leverage. It's the same. It's the same chart I just gave you. You just. I can't. I don't know what he's saying. Oh, so in the chat, I gave you the link to my chart. You can click on it. Yeah, to this chart right here. Hey, click on it. It'll pop up in a browser. It'll be at the top right. It'll say copy. And you copy it, and then you name it whatever you want it to be named. You don't have premium? Yeah, you should. Oh, well, that's not good for you. So you should probably go. Marky Mark? Yes. So let me answer Mark. Yes, so Mark, before I quit my job last October, um I was a lineman. Well, I was actually a supervisor. I was a foreman, a general foreman, and we did emergency storm response all over the country. And just when a hurricane comes or a bad storm comes and destroys all power lines, I bring a whole team in to fix it, right? And so when I used to be a lineman and I would climb poles and go in buckets and fix things, and I got old and I got supervisory roles, so I would get pickup trucks and I would sit in my pickup trucks with my cell phone and do this right here. So yes, Mark, you can definitely. Yes. And when Thanksgiving comes, they'll give you a year for 250. Yeah, you can get it for a month. But when it comes in on Thanksgiving, every Thanksgiving TradingView will give you a year premium for $250 for Black Friday. And it gets added on to whatever time you already have. So think about that. Next November, you get a premium for $250 for the whole year. No, you just click it. No, you just click it. You just click it. I wouldn't know. Yep. But I always, when I'm doing this right here, because think about what I did now. I have my lead, my smaller white line is a daily candle, and this one is a weekly. So we're using daily versus weekly, right? And I always use an hour for that. You this is all, this trade was all week. You held this thing all week. So we held it up to here, right? This was 4 days. Yeah. That's what we were doing earlier. Oh, it is. I haven't, it shouldn't have changed. So I just go to scalping, and then I go to scalping, and there it is right there. And then I go to 15 seconds. I use 15-second candles, and I don't have them turned on. It is published. That's the one you have. Here. Oh, it's changing. Oh, my changes are happening live to yours. Okay, make a copy of the one I just gave you, and then the link I just gave you. Make a copy of that, rename it, and then yep. I know you showed everybody your credit card information on. I just did a whole new link. I'm actually on 15 seconds. Wait a minute now. It should pop up on your close that. That's for indicators and stuff. So go to that new tab up there. Go to search. Well, you don't have it in there. You didn't save it. Click that. No, that's not it either. So close that tab. That ain't gonna do you any good. Yep. Now go to the link that I put in the chat. Click it. Top right. Well, do it again because it didn't do it. Oh, there it is. There you go. There you go. And you got a red arrow. Click on that real quick. See what it says. Where your indicators are. It's like an exclamation, red exclamation. Under XRP USDT. Down. There you go. On the down one more. Right there, that red. What are those red saying? So runtime error? No. That's very odd. Change your I mean, I'm sitting here looking at it working. How did you get a runtime error? Okay, so create the plus button at the top. So you're getting a new tab. Yep. Okay, now click that. Click that right there. And go to well, that watch list, get rid of that. All to the right. All to the right. Right there, click it. Boom. Now you have more space. Click on the indicators. No, not there. The where it says 4. All right, and open up the settings of one of them. Yeah. Okay, everything's fine. Let's see. All right, close that. Go to your 1 minute. Go to like 5 minutes or something. I don't think it upgraded you. Go, turn your candles on. Oh, it is. Oh, there it is. Okay, so go back to 1 minute or 15 seconds. So go back at the top. And then you'll have to, there you go. You don't have premium still. Do not. Yeah, but you're on the wrong time frame, so you're gonna get the entries are gonna be bad. So you have to sign out and sign in. But click save. Click save on that right there. Yep. Right where it says 2-line cross. Yeah, click. There you go. There you go. Now do it. Now go log out. Log in.
Marky Mark, no, we haven't used this crossover method in a while.
But I hate to do it, but I do have to run. Yeah. But you're welcome. But this is one of the ways to use it. This is great, but I would still use your end caps, right? So that you know where key levels are, because this is gonna work best at key levels, right? And yeah, so there's that. When you get a rejection, so when you come up to like an end cap and you see rejection and then a crossover, there's your entry. Now look at this crossover right here that just happened, this long that just took place. Oh. All right, after this I have to go or I never will. See this right here? Look, boom, here's a scout.